Hey, eighth graders, this is for you for Tuesday. I'm going to go through and show how to do some of the problems that you're going to be working on. The topic for the next couple of days is going to be transformations. I'm on IXL and I've created an account for you. I sent an email that gave you your username and password. And you'll see that when I got here, I went to sixth grade in IXL. And then down here in DD, it is symmetry and transformations. And for today's lesson, we are going to go to 8 reflections. So I'm going to go ahead and go to this assignment, maybe. There we go. And today's lesson is on reflections. You can see right here in the directions, it says graph the image of rectangle JKLM after a reflection over the y-axis. So first we've got to recognize that this is the y-axis right here. And I want to take this image and reflect it across it. So really, I'm pretending like this is a mirror. I'm going to put this same image over here. It's pretty simple. All I do to find the point for L is to count how far away it is from the y-axis. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4 away. So then I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's my point L prime. So that's L. This is the new image. And when you have a new image, it's called prime, kind of like Optimus Prime. It's an exact copy of the original. And then right here, this M, I can see that it is -10. So that means it's going to be 10 away from the y-axis. So I go 10 away this direction. Then I count K is 1, 2, 3, 4 away from the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4 away. But you can see that if I put that right there on IXL, it's going to get all wonky, and that line is going to be messed up. So really what that point is looking for is this. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last, I need one more point. And I know it's going to go right there, but let's count and make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a reflection over the y-axis. This next question's also over the y-axis, so I'm going to pause it and find one that's different. So you can see right here in the directions that this image is supposed to be reflected over the x-axis. So that is this axis right here. So all I need to do is count how far is E away from the x-axis. 1, 2, 3. And I need to reflect it across and go 1, 2, 3. I shouldn't have put my dot right there. So 1, 2, 3. It goes right there. And my next point, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away from the x-axis. So then I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away from the x-axis. Now my next point is going to need to be the one that's down here and not this one right here. So it is going to end up being this F right here. So I'm going to see how, I'm sorry, it's going to be the G right here, not the F. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. And then my last point is going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 away. And when we do this, every time you should get an identical image across. So you can see that I have the same rectangular shape. It's just moved across the x-axis. Okay, here's a problem that's a little bit different. Just because the shape isn't a rectangle or a square. I'm going to still reflect it across the x-axis. And I'm going to start with my point M right here. And I'm going to see that it is 1, 2, 3 away from the x-axis. And I'm going to count up 1, 2, 3 and put my next point. Then I could go to the point L and see that it is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I can put that point right there. Now, every now and then I have to figure out which point has to come next. I'm going to try K. I can see that it is 10 away from the x-axis. So I'm going to take this point and move it up here 10 away from the x-axis in the opposite direction. And then last, I can see that J is also 10 away. It's 10 down. So I'm going to move it 10 up. And when I put that point there, these two should be identical. And it looks like I was pretty close, except I I didn't move this point straight up. So I need to grab this point right here and move it over one spot so that it matches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you'll notice now that the two shapes aren't exactly the same looking. They have been mirrored or flipped. Kind of like when you look in a mirror, if you have a shirt on that's got a word on it, the word is now spelled backwards. It's kind of done the same thing with this image right here. It is flipped it. If you were to take this were a piece of paper that I could fold right here, and I could fold them on top of each other and bring them together, then they would lay flat on top of each other. Here's another one that's somewhat similar just because the shape isn't a rectangle. It says reflect this across the y-axis. So here's my y-axis. So I'm going to start with point D, and I see that it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away. So I need to move it 6 the opposite direction. Point E is 8 spots away from the y-axis. So I'm going to move it 8 spots away. Then I'm going to look at point C, and I see that it is 8 points away from the y-axis. And that's not the one I want to start with. I want to start with B right here. So I'm going to move it. It is 10 spots away, so I want to move it 10 spots away. And now I go 8 points away with point C right here. C was at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spots. So this right here is a copy of C, or C prime. And then that B goes 10 spots away to B prime right here. I'm going to give you the 2 points for the assignment if you can get it to 80. If you want to go ahead and get it up to 100, you're welcome to. They don't really get any trickier until you get to 90. And at 90, I believe they say something like reflect over the line y equals 2. So then you would be reflecting across a different line. Sorry, my daughter just walked in. But in this case, it's still just reflecting over the x-axis. So I would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can't go straight to this next point down here. Just wanted to point that out before I ended the video. If I tried to do M next, and then I said M was 7 away, and then I went 7 away down here, and then I tried to do point L and said it was 6 away, and then I went 6 away, and then I went to my last point of N and said, well, it's 6 away, so I need to go 6 away. I have the right points. You can see that I put the points in the right spot, but they don't form the right shape. So when we do these, we do have to go in order kind of around our shape and not shooting across the shape. And once you get to this point, it's really tricky to fix the goofy errors that you get without messing things up even worse. So it's easier to just bounce around in order in a circular pattern, clockwise or counterclockwise around your shape to get the answer. Let me know if you have any questions. This is for Tuesday to watch this video and then go to 6th grade DD8 on IXL. If you have trouble logging in, just shoot me an email and let me know. I can let you know what your username and password is. Again, I emailed you your username and password last Saturday evening, I believe, maybe Friday. So you can check your email for that username and password. When you're finished, I will let you all know if I'm getting the grades. I think I should be able to see them. And if I can't, then I'll just have you screenshot your screen with your final score over here. If you get to 80, I consider that fantastic. I'm not looking for you to get to 100. Hope you all have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow.